When the United States applies pressure to a country like Venezuela, it is rarely about one leader, one moment, or one crisis. It is about architecture, long-term leverage, and outcomes that persist regardless of who sits in the presidential palace. The question is not what the US says it wants. The question is what its behavior suggests it is preparing to do. The United States does not need Venezuela to collapse. It needs Venezuela to be predictable, compliant, and economically interoperable with US-aligned systems. Everything flows from that objective. Historically, the US avoids full occupation or direct governance in Latin America. Those approaches are expensive, politically toxic, and unnecessary. Instead, the preferred model is permanent leverage. Sanctions that can be tightened or loosened at will, recognition power over leadership legitimacy, legal exposure hanging over current and future officials. The goal is to ensure that every Venezuelan leader governs under US conditionality, whether openly friendly or quietly compliant. Venezuela's oil is not valuable because it exists. It is valuable because it can be brought back online quickly under new terms. The likely US plan is not nationalization or seizure. It is contractual dominance. This typically looks like reopening oil markets, selectively granting licenses to specific Western firms, restructuring debt in exchange for production guarantees, locking future governments into long-term extraction agreements in effect. Sovereignty remains on paper, while revenue flows are externally shaped. The US does not require Venezuela to be a model democracy. It requires it to be a managed democracy. That means multiple political parties, none fully sovereign elections that produce acceptable outcomes, courts and institutions financially dependent on external support. Opposition groups are cultivated not to overthrow the system, but to ensure no single faction can resist external pressure. Stability is achieved through fragmentation. The United States does not need military bases in Venezuela. It needs doctrinal alignment. This is accomplished through intelligence cooperation, officer training abroad equipment, standardization counter-narcotics frameworks. Once a military's logistics, training, and intelligence pipelines are externally linked, autonomy becomes theoretical. Venezuela is also a message. To Cuba, to Nicaragua, to Bolivia, to any state that believes endurance alone defeats pressure. The message is simple. You may resist for years, but the pressure does not expire. This is not about punishment. It is about deterrence through inevitability. It is unlikely the US intends permanent occupation. Direct colonial administration, open-ended humanitarian governance, those create responsibility. Responsibility creates cost. The preferred outcome is influence without accountability. The ideal end state for US planners is not a free Venezuela. It is a Venezuela that sells oil into approved markets, avoids rival alliances, manages internal unrest domestically, requires no constant US intervention. A country that looks sovereign, functions constrained, and remains permanently negotiable. Empires today do not conquer territory. They design environments where resistance becomes unsustainable. Venezuela is not a battlefield. It is a long-term project,